Sometimes it can't be helped, you need to use a global variable. In pretty much all development mantras, the use of global variables is frowned upon for reasons of traditional law passed down from master to apprentice across the years. In LabVIEW, it is definitely frowned upon, but in this case for good reasons. It's way too easy to introduce race conditions in LabVIEW when you depart from the data flow model and use variables, global or local. That doesn't mean you can't do it, it means you need to be very careful about updating and reading these. One good reason for the use of global variables is where you have a situation that a particular piece of data is widely used across the applications, and without a global you would need to wire that data across multiple VIs, even those that don't use it directly. It's not a practical approach. The framework does use two global variables, but they are initialized when the framework starts up, and from that point the values are only ever read and never changed. With that in mind, how do you create and use global variables? It's a little different to defining controls and indicators and making local variables from them. So here I have an empty VI. It doesn't have to be empty. You can do this from any VI that you want. And if you right click and on structures, you can see that there's a function for a global variable, and we can just drop that down. Now in and of itself it doesn't do anything. If I single click it, it doesn't do anything. To actually create the global variables that you want, double click it and it opens up a new front panel, and this is where you can define all your globals. So for example, I could drop a numeric on there. Let's just call it maximum size, drop another one down and perhaps call that allow edit, and these can be controls or indicators. You set them up exactly the same way, and this is a specific VI that is used to hold globals. Now you can actually have more than one, as we'll see shortly, but I don't really see the purpose of that. If I just save that, we'll call it globals, and there we go. That's how we've actually defined two global variables there now. And on this page here you can see I can now select one of them, allow edit, and I can change that to be it's currently writable. I can change it to be readable if I want. So how do I get another global variable down? Let's just close this. I could right click and go back to structures, get a global variable, drop it down, but single clicking that doesn't open anything up. It doesn't give me those access to those two variables. If I double click it, I get a brand new front panel to create a brand new set of global variables, which is not what I want. So let's just get rid of that. So how do I actually find another one of those global variables? Well, in this case, there's two ways of doing it. I can right click and select a VI, and when I do that I can select the globals VI and drop it down, and you can see it automatically just selects maximum size. Single clicking on it allows me to select the one I actually want. Another approach, which you can't directly see within this video, is if I hold down the control key and click and hold and drag, click and hold in the right place and drag, it will create a copy of what I already have on there, and I can change that to be something else. So that is creating globals. Don't forget to be really careful when you use them.